hurry!
Welcome to Mom Cave Live, where we may have lost our minds, but we haven't lost our sense of humor yet tonight. We better not. I have a fun guest tonight, and I'm going to bring her on now. Everybody,
Hi.
here is
Hola.
Ola from Costa Rica. Welcome,
Yes.
Julie.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. So I like this to be more of like a casual hangout, and everybody can participate if you want to chat with us. But you're a very interesting person, so we've got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Awesome.
So
I did bring my wine. I did bring my wine in.
Good. You have your wine.
Cheers.
I have my wine. Cheers.
Awesome.
So I always heard that when you are a woman of a certain age, you start to put ice in your wine, and I must be of that age. So I do that now.
You know, yeah, I've been putting a little bit of water just because I don't want to have so much alcohol in my body, but you know, to kind of ration it a little bit.
Yeah, the ice helps it, water it down and cool it off because I'm always hot. I don't know about you. So
I'm a little past that stage, thank God. But I'm in Costa Rica, so yeah, I guess I'm hot.
Yeah. Well, you're hot. You're hot stuff because I was reading your bio, and let's see, the ladies of The View named you, deigned you, crowned you, right? The most. What's your title? The funniest housewife?
Yeah. Well, it was so interesting. So they were doing a nationwide contest for the hilarious housewives, and I wasn't married at the time, divorced a couple times, and but I was able to, I was hanging out with a guy. Let's say he was kind of living with me, but so I went on the contest and I won, and it was just such a great opportunity. And it's now been about a decade. I won a trip to Kauai, but I got to hang out with Whoopi Goldberg, Barbara Walters, Sherry Shepherd, who I actually did comedy with decades ago when she was starting, before she was doing TV and talk shows. So just having that full circle. And I was on The View, 20 years before that, or 15, in that same contest, and I did not win. So it was a good comeback. It was a good, come back and get it.
That's a life lesson. Sometimes you're just not ready for one thing, and it comes around,
Yeah. So very, very, very wonderful.
So many things in life don't go the way that we planned. And I think that's a great topic to talk about with you because of the fact that you actually, what's the name of the book that you have? I want to make sure I'm getting it right. Embracing My Funny Bone.
Embracing my funny bone, even when shit happens. I wrote, it was before COVID. So I was doing a lot of public speaking and comedy and selling it. And then, of course, COVID hit and everything shut down. And so then during COVID, go ahead. Yeah, shit happened. Shit happened.
More shit happened.
And then nothing happened.
For a long time.
Yeah, right. But I just talk a lot about, it's very vulnerable, just going through life struggles and how, my sense of humor has really gotten me through everything. And so many times being on stage after, I don't know, maybe this is jumping in too soon, but I have a son that had epilepsy, and I'd be driving to a gig and I'm 3-4 hours away on the road, and then it's the hospital calling, and I'm like, I have to get on stage in an hour. And of course I would get on stage and then jump off, I gotta go, and then drive it so many times. But definitely if you have a sense of humor and creativity, you can get through most anything.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I think sometimes you have, especially as a parent, you just keep going, and then you get in like this mode. So, you knew you had to get on stage so that you could get to him after. And how did you focus?
What's interesting is when I'm on stage, I don't even know I have a life. There's two things that keep me sane. I mean, and I would say I taught dance for 25 years. When I'm teaching and in the dance studio and I'm dancing, tapping away, I'm not really thinking about much. And it is such a nice break for your brain. And then all of a sudden you stop teaching or you get off stage and you're like, oh my God, my life is shit. I gotta go. You just keep going. I was a single mom. I raised 3 kids. I experienced so many different lives and chapters, being a dance mom, working full time, teaching. I did comedy for, it's been over 30 years and I never stopped. Now, I couldn't go on the road per se because I had 3 kids and
Right.
I wasn't in a relationship, wasn't married. Um, but it kept me sane. It kept me sane. Now,
Hmm.
my kids are a little screwed up, but
Well, look, everybody is screwed up in the end, and we always blame our parents.
yeah,
Now we're the
right.
parents, and they're going to blame us. I feel like it's just a circle of life, really. The circle of
Hmm. And
blame. I like to call
yeah, and embarrassing your kids too. But my kids don't know me. They don't know me not doing comedy. I was doing
that.
comedy when my daughter, who's now 30, was in the womb.
Wow.
Um, yeah, so I always wanted to be a comedian, and I'm glad I did. And it really got me through a lot of life. I've, this is sad. I've endured a lot of death, parents, brother, stepsister, who was my best friend, who I did comedy with. She also produced The Funniest Housewives first. And then when she passed, I took it over by myself. And that was a lot of work, but I did it for her and I did it to, stay close to her. I swear she comes to me all the time, do this, do that. And then my son passed away 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and it was hard to do comedy after that. In fact, I had a huge show at the Brea Improv about 4 weeks after he passed, um, and I couldn't do it. But then my son had epilepsy, and that's how that took his life. But I decided to turn it into an epilepsy fundraiser, and almost all of the funniest housewives showed up. So we turned it into this grand show. We raised money for Epilepsy Foundation in honor of my son, and then little by little, I got back to comedy. It was hard to commit. Like I say, yeah, I'll be there Friday. And then by that morning, I was like, oh, why did I say
Mm,
yeah? But I did it, and it was good for me because I had to push myself. And
yeah,
pushing, keeps you grounded.
it does. It does. Um, so I was going to put the link to your book in the comments, but of course it's giving me trouble. But we can say that.
Um, it's on. I know I was looking at it today because I kind of
Hmm.
forget about the books I write, and then I'm on to the next book. And I noticed it was on Amazon actually for free on Kindle.
Oh,
So
well,
is it still? I'm
yep.
thinking about now that you can do books on Amazon, print on demand. I've always
Mhm.
hired, had it published by companies. I'm taking kind of revamping all my work, and I'm just going to put, because I'm in Costa Rica, I can't ship anything. So I don't
Ah,
even really have an address. I don't even know what my address is. It's just 200 meters from the main street. Turn right at the palm tree and you'll
right.
be in
Long as
heaven.
it's
And then
shipping.
you're in heaven, and then God is there with Chardonnay. So that's where you live.
Oh, wow.
So I'm actually kind of revamping a lot of my work, and I will put it on Amazon, print on demand, and then people can get it that way. And then they give you a portion, and it's just
Cool.
the best way for me to go right now.
Yeah. I put the link that I found, if hopefully that link will work. But yeah, so now there's something very interesting that I think you need to explain to everyone, but especially to me.
Uh-uh.
You are a palm reader. Yes? Is that
Yeah,
what it's
I'm
called? Or
obsessed.
are you a fortune teller? What is the official
So
title of a
palm
palm?
reading, so yeah, palm reader, and I kind of do palm reader. I started out palm reading obsessed, studied for years. So I would do palm reading comedian, and I would only do palm readings on comedians. And there's a lot on YouTube because
Oh,
the
yeah.
banter is so funny with the comedian. I even
Mhm.
had someone's dog kind of attack me, who's anyway, just funny things go on. One time I was doing a private reading in a place with Vicky Barbalak, who was a finalist on America's Got Talent. And then we got busted by the guards. So like weird things would happen, and the comedians are so funny. And then I've opened it up to just reading everyone. I do a lot of readings in Costa Rica. I do also, if you just send me your hand, I can do a full on reading. And it's cheap. I always kind of advertise on Facebook, Julie Kidd on Facebook. I'm about to post for $24, get your reading within 24 hours. But this
Wow.
sounds silly. I'm obsessed with anything to do with my hands, piano, microphone, palm reading,
Really?
tap dancing is my feet. So I'm
Right.
positive in a previous life I didn't have hands or feet because all my obsessions are hands and feet. But I love
Oh,
reading palms, and um, if someone's just talking to me, I can be like, oh yeah, serial killer. And it's also fun if in the dating life, if I'm
You check
talking
their
to a guy,
palms? Are you checking
I'm
their
looking
hand?
at their palm. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
What can you
I can
tell?
tell. Well, so one thing is, so the top main line is heart. After that, under that is the head, and then this is your lifeline. If you just have one line and that's it,
Mhm.
instead of a heart line and a headline, that's called a simian line, and you could be a serial killer, or you're
Or
super genius. So I do know I have someone close to me that has a simian line, but they're just a genius,
okay.
kind of, genius, not a serial killer that I know of.
Right, then but then a lot of serial killers are geniuses until they get caught. I mean, but
They
very
they
smart.
they really are. They have it's a certain kind of mindset. But I can tell if someone's a liar. I can tell if they're intuitive. I can tell if they've saved someone's life. I can tell if
Whoa.
they're in a relationship. Yeah, I see so much, creative, how their mental mind is thinking. Oh yeah, it's amazing.
So
And
is it
lines change.
they do? How does that work?
It's kind of like, I mean, I'm gonna similar to the lines on your face. They do kind of change, or they'll get longer or light depending on how you're living your life. Typically, the left hand is how you were born into the world, and the right hand is how you're living your life. But they can change. They can spread out. If you're not healthy,
Uh-huh.
it'll show on your hand. And then when your health gets better, the white little moons on your nails will change. The lines will change where the health line is. Excuse me. Yeah, they do change. Thank God. And I tell people that too. Like, and I have to be very careful. I can't just say, "Oh, you're a serial killer and you're going to kill you're going to die." Like, or
Serial
I
killer,
don't.
you're healthy,
Yeah,
you're gonna die in a year.
yeah, yeah.
You don't
You
want to
drink a
tell a
lot. Oh,
serial killer that.
I could tell if they drink a lot or they do drugs. Like if they have an addiction to. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Now, is this all like you study and from your studies and from looking and it's physical, or are you somehow also like spirit? I know I'm not using the right words here. You're
That's
spiritually,
okay. I
or is
know
it
what you mean. You know what?
like is
I
there
think
magic?
lately. What'd you say?
There magic spirituality to it? You
There
know.
there is an energy. In fact, I was just telling my son this 2 days ago. I feel like I've been reading so much that now I'm starting to kind of get an energy from the palm. There was
Oh,
and after I read, when people send me their palm, I delete it. I don't remember it. I don't really remember it because I'm on to the next reading. But I read this woman in Costa Rica, and her palm was so incredible. I was like, I have to meet this woman.
really?
There was just so much on it, and everything I said was correct. She was amazed, and we did meet and talked more about her hand. But yeah, I do have a certain kind of empath, yeah, energy that goes along with it. So I do have
Mhm.
to, after I read, I have to just go on to the next palm and just leave it behind.
It's funny. I have a superstition about palm reading that I don't necessarily believe, but when I was very young, my parents were born again Christians, and they aren't anymore, but when they were, and anything like palm reading or it's like
Right,
very sinful and like a gateway to let evil into your life. And so
right.
even once I was reading like one of the Interview with a Vampire, my parents found it in my room. That was not a good scene. They're like, "You can't accept this in the house."
Right.
So as a kid hearing all this, like I started to believe it. And now that I don't believe in those things anymore, but I still have like this a little bit of a superstition. Like, I don't want to mess with anything that has to do with like fortune telling or anything like that because I don't want to take the chance. Like I get
Yeah.
nervous.
Well, and there's so many tarot card readers out there. One who's phenomenal is Karen Rontowski, who's also a comedian. She's based in New York, and she's part of my
I
funniest
love this
housewives.
comedian palm reader.
Right. Yeah, there are a few of us. And I get it. It is kind of like evil. Sometimes I'm kind of embarrassed by it, but something about me has just been obsessed. And then I went to a party and there was a palm reader, and this is 30 years ago or 25, 30 years ago. And it was so intriguing how people were, oh, read my palm. Oh, hi. Like they want to get to know you and talk to you. And
Mhm.
I kind of did like that aspect of it. But now, people just text me their palm. People, if I don't mention that I do that because people are like, "We read my palm, you read my palm," and it is
Right.
something that I make money and I do charge for, and I will give a whole presentation on like this is this line, this is so.
Yeah, yeah.
When you get your reading, you're learning as well.
Right.
And people are ripping people off with tarot card readings. You have to be really careful on TikTok.
Well,
So, but it's fun.
it's a little like being a comedian too, because when people hear that you do comedy or you're an actor or whatever, they're like, "Well, tell me a joke. Do something."
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
right?
And it's not like that.
No,
Or
it's not like
you know what people do a lot? They go, "Oh, my friend at work is so funny. I'll have them call you and maybe they could do comedy." That's like saying, I can really dance, I get a groove on, but you're not going to be on Broadway.
right,
Comedy takes years of training and you're not even good for at least 10 years.
yeah,
But you
yeah,
have in your brain that you're funny and you have this high status of yourself. So you do keep going. But
right,
after you've done it for decades, you look back, you're like, oh my God, what was I thinking? But on the palm reading, yeah, it is weird. Now, but the palm reading, these are all planets, and
mhm,
it's Saturn, Mercury, Jupiter. It really is kind of aligned with planet, and I guess a little bit astrology. But I
yeah.
just love it, so I can't stop. I cannot
That's
stop.
great.
And
That's
I, it's also an extra income. I've studied really hard. I've really
mhm.
put the work in over the decades.
Yeah. Well, I'm all about like making your way in this world financially, scrapping together many things and
Yeah.
not having to do like the typical way. I don't have a
Hmm.
retirement account, so that's a downside of that. But I've never had to like work in
Yeah.
the office, and the
I
cubicle.
can tell if people are going to get inheritance. I can tell if you're a millionaire. I can tell if money's coming.
Mm,
And yeah, there's so much to tell. And then sometimes people will say, like this one reading I did about a week ago, I'm like, did you save somebody's life? And they're like, no. And then she called me a few days later and she's like, oh my God, when I
she,
was, no, I said, did you almost die when you were
oh,
young? And she's like, no, I can't, no. And I go, maybe you don't remember. And then she was
right,
telling her dad about the reading. And he's like, no, you were in a car accident at 5 years old, remember, with mom, and you almost died. And so she called me and said, oh my goodness. So sometimes they don't get it at first and then they'll think about it. That's why I like to write it out. Go back and read it, and then, it'll come
right,
to you. Oh, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, definitely obsessed. I love doing it and I make a lot of friends and that's nice.
Can people change their future? Like if you see that they have a short lifeline or something, and you tell them that, can they do something to change it?
Yeah, you can tell if people are living their full life. You can tell if people are, you know, letting other people interfere. And like I said, those lines change. So I'll look back at someone 2 years later and say, God, your lifeline is really thick. It was so thin and broken and close to your thumb, which means you're more of an introvert. And then it will kind of spread out. Or they'll pick up a huge passion like music or guitar, and I can see that. I can see entertainment, stage, music. Yeah, I see if they're very sexual, if they're not so sexual. Oh yes, it's all there. It's all in the hand. Talk to the
Oh,
hand, baby.
they say that you can learn a lot about a person from their hands. Um, yeah,
Well,
if
and
I
it's
was dating,
also kind of, I'm
I
sorry.
would. We have a little bit of a lag, everyone who's watching, because of Costa Rica and the amazing internet there. So that's why we
Yeah,
keep talking to each other. I was saying, if I was dating you, I would probably wear gloves at least the first few dates.
you know what? I was dating this guy that I met here, and I'm so pissed at myself that I didn't take a picture of his palm, but I wanted to just get to know him. I didn't want to
Right.
read and be like, "Oh my God,
That.
you're this, you're that." But if I see him again, I'm gonna sneak a
Mhm.
picture. So,
Yeah. Now
you
that
know,
you know,
now that
you need.
I know and also why it didn't work out, which of course I can't get into, but I'm like, "Ooh, I wonder what I could have seen."
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the truth will be told soon.
Wow. Well, if you want to get a reading from Julie, get in touch. Tell
Yeah.
everyone where they can find you on the internets.
Well, I'm on, IG Julie Kid, funny Julie Kid on Facebook. You'll know it's me because there's comedy, palm reading. But my email is thefunnymom@gmail.com. Send me, let me know if you want a reading. It's
Yeah.
definitely worth the price. I can have it within 24 hours. And yeah, I think that'd be fun.
We just
I would
had
love it.
a minute comment come in that we have to quickly answer because this is a good
Okay.
question. And I could go after you. I'm going to show the comment in a minute, but after what I told you about my childhood, oh my God, I could go into like a whole hour of talking about this. But we have a comment from Shelby saying, "What's your take on Ouija boards? Are there anything real about them, or are they just a toy?" Ooh.
See, that seems a little satanic to me, but I do think that it's really energy. You know,
Mhm.
our energy really does move, and there's a lot of people that talk about like putting your hands together and how. So I think whatever you're thinking, you're manifesting, and that thought will push your energy towards that answer. So,
Right.
you know, it's a
So
little,
it's
like you said,
not
kind of,
another spirit woo woo telling you. It's more like
yeah.
your energy that you don't know about subconsciously is
Yeah,
moving.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a little bit scary, but I'm not that experienced in it. But even with the energy, you know, I do think that people talk to us from the other side. I do think people guide us. I've had some incredible experiences from just having a dream of my dad, you know, and I kind of think my son that passed away. He brought me here. So there is a
Yeah.
certain energy. We are all energy. So if you're on
Right.
that Ouija board, you know, you're going to manifest to that whatever that answer is you're trying to get.
That's very true. That's a great answer. And that makes me feel better because, I get scared by these things. Um,
Yeah.
but it's so great talking to you. I know you have another book coming out soon, and we'll have to talk about that when it does come out.
Hmm.
And everybody, if you want to know, if you want to get your palm read, get in touch with Julie.
If you want
Thank
your
you.
palm read, and also look for The Funniest Housewives, which was the longest running all headliner female show. The Amazon's going to be bringing that book back up as well, and I'm doing a documentary on it. You know, women, female comedians in a very male-dominated industry. So that's right now in the process. All the filming is done. It's just in the editing
Oh, really?
stage. So
Oh,
I'll
we'll
be
have
back to talk about that hopefully.
Okay, and if you need a place to show it, Mom Cave is on all kinds of smart TV channels now. So I'm always
That's
looking for
so
more mom
cool.
content. Yes,
Okay, good to
oh,
know.
TV and all that. So I'm always looking for good mom content. Okay, I'm going
Okay.
to say goodbye because I hear a whiner in her bed who should be asleep, and I hope
Okay.
you
A whiner and some wine.
a
Well,
whiner. I'm going to take
thank
my
you.
wine up to the whiner. Enjoy paradise. Thanks so much.
Okay, gracias.